It's very nice to see you all here. I really enjoyed the previous presentations, and I liked Junko's presentation about the EAC and the structure of the EAC. I will not talk about VETCET, so I will just mention briefly, so I'm glad that Junko introduced VETCET, because that's one of the biggest projects that took place in the previous years. I'm really impressed with the videos and pictures of our Czech colleague in his presentation, and I was really interested to see how it works in Czech Republic, so thank you very much for sharing that. So the last couple of years we observed a huge increase in international cooperation, and these projects over the last 5 to 7 years have expanded, and the arboriculture industry played a huge role in these nature conservation or nature related projects. So I thought that I will choose the projects that were related to 3 questions. So how to train professionals? These among them is VETCET, but there are other projects as well. How to do things the best way? These are the projects related to standards, and there are also other projects that are involved into influencing policies, into changing policies at all levels. So I will briefly go and present some of these projects. I will have QR codes, so if you have and you know how to read QR codes, I will present a few of them so you can get access to the websites to the project website. So first I will talk about Tree Accessor project. That's the biggest project that Tree Institute was involved. So in this project we created training materials, comprehensive training program for people who are involved in tree assessment at basic and advanced level. So in Poland we started training tree assessors a couple of years ago. We were inspired by the Institute of Baumpflege in Hamburg, and then we started doing a similar thing. And then we found that in Poland we need to raise the level of teaching professionals. That's why we decided to cooperate with other partners. One of the partners was not ARP partner. They completely had nothing to do with trees. They deal with human resources and education. And that was very helpful to cooperate with them because they know how to teach people. And in the project we created over 1,000 pages of content. At the end I will have a QR code where you will be able to find all the books and all the materials. So we created a teaching framework, what the tree assessor should know. We then created materials for trainers and trainees. So if there is a training center that wants to implement training in the field of tree assessment, they can download the materials. And also we wrote a couple textbooks that you can find on the web. And these textbooks and these outputs are divided into basic tree assessment and advanced tree assessment. One of the outputs of the project also was to define the scope of tree assessment, where tree assessment starts and where does it end. So what are the limits of the competences that we have? And in Poland we were struggling with the term tree survey, and we did then research. We looked what is out there in different countries, and it turns out that you need to have other competences to assess a tree. It's not enough to know species and to measure the tree in order to be able to assess the tree. So we differentiate the levels of tree assessment, and tree survey is not yet tree assessment, and that's also defined in the training materials. Then there is a list of topics, and there are syllabuses for each of the topics. So how many hours, what are the tools that you need to have to run a given topic. And that's very helpful for our trainers, when we run our trainings, we give them a sheet and they know what they are supposed to be talking about, what are the key terms, and they can prepare themselves better to run trainings. And all the materials are available here. So there is a number of books. They are divided in different categories, so you can find them online. There is a Polish version and also there is English version of the website. No, I'm lying. There is Latvian as well and Hungarian. There are 4 language versions. Has any one of you, please raise your hand if you came across this project, Tree Accessor? Who of you have here and there? Okay. So the other project, that's Junko mentioned European Tree Technician. A number of project partners came together and we brainstormed, and we've noticed that if you look at ETT certification, it's not the same. It doesn't have to be the same, but it's not similar enough among countries. So we've decided to narrow down the gap between different countries, and we've decided with the partners to improve and make a next step in ETT certification in Europe. We did all these projects are also, the big part of these projects is research, to see what is out there, what is the opinion of people. So there is still one survey that is running in ETT project where you can express your opinion, and based on that, based on the feedback that we get from you, then the content is created and the structure is created. So first of all, who is ETT? That was a big discussion. It's still going on. That the main input for this output is from the survey that we do. So we want to update the curriculum. I don't know how old is the first version, but clearly it was long enough ago that it needs an update. The next output is the exam. So we want to make sure that the exam is similar. Of course, there are differences between countries, but there are some things in the exam that should be across countries. They should be unified. Also, ETT training manual. That is something that we really felt that we need when there is a new training center, or if there is a training center that wants to start ETT. They need to have better materials in order to be able to introduce the scheme. So we also created, or we are just about to create a training manual, and for the trainees, for people who come to become ETT certified, we have prepared a study guide that was going to be published, I believe, at the end of this or next year. So this project is about to end next year, and by the middle of next year you will be able to access some of the resources. Some of the resources will be available to training centers, and more of the information will be available on EAC website. So this is how we educate professionals. The other one is standards. Over the last 5 years, I believe, standards were created in different countries. I'm really glad that there is this initiative to create European standard. So this is a summary of the project that Jarek talked about. So we have created a couple outputs. You will hear more about them later. And the project is about to end next week. So all the outputs are on the website. But the project is going into the second phase. We are just starting. And the second phase is, we called it consulting standards. So these, in the new project, we will create 3 new standards, 3 assessment, 3 evaluation and protection of trees on construction site. The project is going to end in 2025. We have 9 project partners. Again, it's a big project, and you can also get involved. So please follow the website, follow the social network, Facebook, wherever you can find us. Every now and then we publish surveys. We ask for opinion because we work hard when we meet, and then we would like to get feedback. So please give your feedback. Each comment is processed. So each small comment, the tiniest things, dots, commas, everything that we get from you is processed and discussed. So please share your feedback because it really matters. And the last thing I want to talk about, and it's related to the first speaker that we had today from the ministry. For the standards and for the certification, in order to implement it, in order to make it work, we need to have it implemented. So standards should be accepted, and only then they can be used, and we can get use of the things that we produce. So together with a German partner, BUND Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, with Katarina Duje-Siewken, we've been working in live projects. So the first projects I talked about, they were financed from Erasmus+. Very easy to process and to manage. This project was financed from LIFE, and in this project that was completely different because we wanted to influence the policy. We thought, okay, we know how to do things, we can talk to partners and professionals across Europe, we can get the know-how, but now we need to implement that. And that was a hard work to promote that. One of the very nice methods of promoting trees at the media level, at national and international level, was a cycling tour that was organized by our German partner. So the outcome we saw in media was just spectacular. And in this project that lasted for 5 years, I think, we've managed to influence 20 policies at national level, but also at European level. So going back to our first speaker, that is one of the things that was introduced to infrastructural funds. So now each project that is going to be related to infrastructure, and there will be construction works, they are expected to have standards. And that's perfect timing for our standards in the project to have them ready, because they can be used and implemented. And in the past, we have seen a lot of damage to trees, especially on construction site. We lost a lot of trees. This is one of the methods that we were able to introduce at the European level. So we need to work on all levels, from bottom up to and across industries as well. I really feel that professionals should be more involved in influencing and changing the policies at the highest level, because the impact then is really strong. Thank you very much.